to you live from Tennessee, from the east to the west. We are talking Cowboys everything. And you've just entered
the Cowboys Show.
Welcome back to our pregame show. This is Marcus Jones coming to you live from Memphis, Tennessee.
And this is Lambo from Cowboys Y'all out of Johnson City, Tennessee.
All right, and thank you guys for joining us this morning for our pregame show. I know the game is this Tuesday, but we want to go ahead and give you all the news and notes that we have available to take you into the rest of today's game, as well as get you ready for this coming Tuesday.
What's up, Bobby?
What's up, Jeff?
What's up, Jeff?
How you feeling this morning, Lambo?
I'm feeling pretty good. A little sore. Body's a little sore, but I'm good.
You'll get that soon.
I got to get used to this factory work. Yeah. Been at a desk for like 5 years, so it's
night and day.
Yeah, it is.
All right, guys, so we're going to give you an hour of power today with our pregame show. As you guys know, we do over-under, injury report, fantasy favorites, and then we recap our bold predictions and game predictions. So if you guys are new to the show today, be sure to get in the comments and let us know that you're there. And be sure to join in on the conversation with any questions or comments that you may have. The show is fueled by you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. So we appreciate all your support and all of your comments.
Yep. And also, forgive me, guys. What's up, Shane? Forgive me, guys, for a little bit of background noise. I'll try to mute when I'm not talking because the kids are eating lunch in the other door right behind me. So you'll probably this microphone's very sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear him a little bit, but it's not distracting. All right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the NFL did everything they could to let Lamar get ready.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I guess we'll start off first with the injury report. I need to fix that. My first time using it. But today we start off with the injury report, and as Jeff just said, Lamar is still on the COVID list, but it does look like he will be taken off the list in time for Tuesday's game. And like I said, the reigning MVP, they're going to do everything possible to make sure he doesn't miss a game. It's unfortunate for us as Cowboys fans, but that's the nature of the beast. When you're a star player, you get all the breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So last time we went on Wednesday, we did our predictions with or without Lamar. So I guess today we'll just talk about the game, assuming Lamar is going to play. Now, on top of that, they do have several other people on the COVID list, including both of their running backs in Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins. What's up, William? I assume both of those guys will be taken off the COVID list as well. They also have several defensive players. They have Matt Judon, which is their outside linebacker. They also have Justin Matabuke, who was their rookie second-round pick, I believe. And he's backing up Calais Campbell, who is their kind of the leader of the defense. So they got a lot of key guys still on that list. I wish I could give you guys an update whether or not they'll be playing, but I would have to assume that they'll probably be playing, but we'll see. So Lambo, on Wednesday we were hoping we didn't have to see a full roster, but it looks like we're going to see a full Ravens roster. How does that make you feel about our chances?
Not very good at all.
Yeah.
Because as I think I said on Wednesday, sorry again about the noise. As I said on Wednesday, I thought that even if Lamar didn't play, that we'd probably lose a close one.
Mm-hmm.
And if he plays, I think it's not going to be that close. But I don't feel too good about it, unfortunately. I was hoping he'd be out, and that would have gave us a decent chance because this division's still up in the air.
Yeah.
And now talk's coming out that Diggs might be able to come back this year. Biotish might be able to come back for the end of the season. So, I mean, if we could keep that division race tight, I mean, it ain't over.
Colonel Bill, thank you for joining us. Stephen Arthur.
Colonel?
All right. So we do have a bit of injury news to report on the Cowboys. First of all, Alden Smith has been kind of questionable with the illness. More than likely, he's going to play. If he's not on the COVID list, that means he's probably just has like a bug, and they're just holding him out for precautions. So that one, he's probably going to play. But a big one just came out recently. Donovan Wilson's dealing with a groin injury.
Yeah, it's 2 practices now, I think.
Two practices. Considering the nature of the injury and the position he plays, I would pretty much assume he's not playing on Tuesday. It's hard for a guy whose position relies on speed to play with the injured groin. On top of that, the guy who appears to be his backup, Steven Parker, he's also dealing with an injury as well, and he's questionable. And I say all that to say this: there was a report yesterday that says Reggie Robinson may finally be active for his first game.
That gives me something to look forward to watching in this game, because I've been wanting to see him on the field for a while, man, and hopefully good things can come from that, or at least see some positive, first snaps for him.
So yeah, and I guess that still answers our question whether or not they're gonna let him play some corner or keep him in safety. Considering the injuries we have, it sounds like he's gonna be playing safety. So we get a chance to check out the future of our secondary. I know a lot of guys want to see us draft a safety or sign a safety. Now we get to see a little bit of whether we still need to do that.
Yeah, definitely, man.
And to me, this is a great game for that, because this team relies heavily on the tight ends. And that's kind of where your safeties and your linebackers come more into play than with the receivers. But they do have a speed receiver, so we get to see him kind of playing over the top and probably getting a chance to play some balls in the air. Yep, like Jeff said, about 11 games too late for sure. I just don't see why they didn't play him. All right, well, in terms of injuries, I think that's pretty much it. Outside of the 2 major injuries we had last week, our team is pretty healthy.
What's up, Jesse from Japan?
Thank you again for joining us as always. But other than the 2 tackles, which is a major blow for us, everybody else seems to be pretty healthy. So we're going to see how that works for us going into this game. So now I think we will go into our over-under.
Over-under.
All right, and guys, as I said before, be sure to keep sending us those comments. Let us know what you think about what we're talking about. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comment box so we can see that you're there. And also we can generate some dialogue. I thought I saw Mendoza come in earlier. Thank you for joining us as always. So Lambo, since we know Lamar Jackson is playing, we'll start with this over-under first. Lamar Jackson over-under. I'm trying not to go too high in terms of rushing yards. Let's do 65 rushing yards over under.
I think he'll be just over that.
Think over? Okay.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have 200 yards rushing as a team.
Okay.
I think he'll get somewhere in the 70s.
Okay.
Himself.
Yeah.
And J.K. Dobbin and Ingram will both be playing, I believe.
More than likely, yeah.
And I think J.K. Dobbin could have a pretty good game.
That's actually who I'm looking for to have the big game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I think they get 200 or close to 200 total. Sometimes we have issues with contain. If they put Jalen Smith as a spy like they like to do, that's going to be an issue. I guess the only good thing I'll say about that is when we played against Kyler Murray, he's more of a scat back type guy, more of a lateral guy. Yeah. Lamar Jackson is kind of a straight line speed guy, so he's not as elusive. So maybe that'll play a little bit more into Jalen's strengths because he's more of a straight line guy as well.
Yeah, and I hope you're right, Colonel Bill. I'd love to see LVE lay him out.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
Definitely. All right, so you brought up the running backs. So I assume you already answered this one. Over under their running backs more than 125 yards total.
Total between all the backs?
Yeah.
Running backs? Yeah, I must say over.
Okay. Yeah, you said they're going to have over 200 as a team. So
I think they'll have a big rushing day. I think it'll be a big rushing day. Teams have had pretty good success running the ball on us, and that's like their expertise over there in Baltimore. So
Yeah. And the thing about them, like you said, that's their bread and butter. They have no reliability in their receivers. Mark Andrews is on the COVID list. I don't know if he'll play or not. I'll assume he does, but as their tight end, he's kind of their only receiving option. So they're going to live and die off the run. And this is going to have to be a big game from our defensive tackles and our linebackers in gap integrity. Because looking at the all 22 last week, they were not maintaining their gaps. It was pretty ugly. All right, so I see a lot of people are saying over as well, talking about their back. So everybody's kind of expecting, and I forgot about Justice Hill. He stepped up and had a big game last week with everybody out. So one thing I say about running backs, and thanks for pointing it out, Mendoza.
And I like Gus Edwards a lot too.
I like Gus Edwards a lot too. But the problem with running backs are rhythm players. So if you have 4 running backs that you're shuffling in and out, sometimes it's hard for those guys to get in the rhythm with the offensive line. So if they may do a drive with one guy, drive with another guy, trying to get everybody on the field, that could work to our advantage because they're not getting in that rhythm and hitting those holes and stuff like that. So for me, I think if they get over 200 yards, there's going to have to be a two backfield. So Hill and Dobbins or Edwards and Hill. I don't see them having 4 running backs all playing significant time and being able to run on us like that.
Yeah. And what will happen is Ingram will have a better than expected game because I finally released him off my fantasy team. So that's how that goes.
Me too.
So now he will finally do what he was supposed to do a while back.
I'm the same way. I got rid of him 3 weeks ago.
It happens every time I get rid of somebody.
All right, so I talked about this one a little bit in the receivers. They have Willie Snead, who was on the COVID list as well. Again, we'll assume that he plays. He's kind of a big play guy, but not really consistent. They also have Hollywood Brown, 4.3 guy. He averages 3 catches a game, which is ridiculous to me. And then they have Dez Bryant, which is we all are familiar with him. Hasn't done much the past couple of weeks, but this is a rivalry game. So you never know what's going to happen when you got a guy playing his old team.
Yeah. If anything, he's going to be a great motivator for them.
Yeah.
Vocal motivator.
So over under one of their receivers getting more than 80 receiving yards. Any one of them. That's a really hard one, I know.
It is. I thought you was going to say 100, and I was going to say, I think under 100, but I also think maybe over 80 for Hollywood.
I got to make it hard. If I say 100, it'll be too easy.
I'm gonna say over for one of them.
Go ahead.
I think Hollywood will have a couple big gains. I think he'll have somewhere in that range of like the mid 80s.
Okay.
This game, so I'm gonna say over.
Yeah, but they don't look at him at all in the passing game.
I do think Dez gets a TD this game too. I don't think he does much outside of that, but motivate and block and have a couple short screens.
Yeah.
Like give him. I think he'll have an average of like 5 yards a catch and 1 touchdown off of like 2 or 3 catches, something like that. Is what I'm thinking for Dez.
I'm actually leaning towards under. Hollywood's fast, but our corners are kind of fast as well.
Yeah, they're straight line fast.
They're straight line fast, exactly. And I feel like that's all Hollywood has. Like if you look at Justin Jefferson, he's a route guy. Yeah. Adam Thielen's a route guy. When we play straight line guys, we do pretty good against them. So
my bold prediction last week on Wednesday was that we see Dez and CD both throw up an X. I don't know CD would have it in him to do that. Maybe out of a respect thing.
Right.
He does it if depending on how him and Dez talk before the game. Maybe Dez is like, hey, if you get one, throw it up.
All right. So you kind of leaning over. Now, like I said, just adding on to that, they don't throw the ball to their receivers often.
Yes, so Dez runs that slant.
Over under 6 catches for a receiver on their team. Any receiver.
Push. I think
Push.
someone will get it at 6, but I don't think anyone will get over 6.
I agree with you. I actually think they're gonna kind of go to Dez quite a bit, possession guy. Whenever he's 1-on-1, get those tough 5-6 yards and then a touchdown. I don't expect them to have more than 40 yards, but I
No.
do expect them to get about 6 catches. So, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Over under 6 catches for one of the Ravens receivers.
See if they send Dez downfield a little bit further this game. They've been doing a lot of little wide receiver screens and stuff to get him the ball.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they got.
Yeah.
They don't trust their receivers at all.
Mm-mm.
All right, so last over under for their offense. We talk about the tight end position with them. Over under their tight end with 100 yards.
I'm gonna say under.
Mark Andrews plays. Over under 100 for Mark Andrews.
I'm gonna say under.
Okay. I'm actually leaning over. I see we got Donald Weaver representing for the Beard Gang today, since we don't have Brian here. Yeah, I'm leaning over actually. I think this is going to be a big Mark Andrews game. I like him a lot in that offense.
He's wearing is it Mark Andrews? I want to say it's Mark Andrews that's wearing the he was wearing cleats Dax with Dax number 4 on the toe for Faith that organization Dak has. I thought that was really cool. Gained some cool points for me, Mark Andrews. That's pretty sweet.
All right, so let's talk about the Cowboys offense a little bit over under. So first of all, we know what our line looks like, and we know their defense does a lot of multiple looks. They have probably the most talented defense in the league in terms of first round picks, high draft picks, Pro Bowlers in their front 7. So over under 3 sacks in this game. 3.5. Let's do 3.5.
For the Dallas D?
No, for our offense, giving up 3 sacks. We average about 3. So let's do 3.5. Over under 3.5 sacks given up by our offense. Starboy, thank you for joining us.
You know what? I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say right at 3, so just under. Just under. This is gonna be. That's almost a bold prediction, but I'm gonna say under. I have a feeling they're just gonna be game planned around getting the ball out quick.
We say that every week, but it doesn't happen.
I know. I know. What's up, Starboy?
Hey, what's up, Bossy? Thank you for joining us. I'm going over. I'm looking at this being an ugly game, honestly. They're gonna bring a lot of multiple defenses. They blitz from everywhere. I think it's gonna be hard for our offense to keep up with all the blitzes that they bring. Especially if they get a lead. Then they're gonna just be like just releasing the hounds.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I saw you made a comment earlier on my post about Amari Cooper and the season that he's having.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of talking about he's having a down year, but every week he gets 60 yards and 6 catches and 70 yards. Like clockwork.
With this quarterback carousel, and he is on pace for 103 catches and 1,300 yards, it says. So if he gets over 100, that makes him just the 3rd Cowboy in history?
Yeah.
Behind Irvin and Witt. And so that's impressive, especially with the quarterback play and stuff. That's been kind of a knock on Amari throughout his career that he wasn't consistent, but he showed some good consistency this year. Mm-hmm. And I've actually think I might be changing my mind on in the next 2 years when it comes down to Gallup and Cooper. I still think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to keep both of them in 2 years. When it's time for Gallup to get paid, are you going to be paying Cooper $20 a year and pay Gallup a huge contract? CD will be all right. He'll still be on his rookie deal. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I'm starting to think at that point in 2 years, Cooper's deal might start to look a little bit like a good value.
Right.
And he's consistently showing up. And I don't know, man. I'm starting to lean towards it'll be Cooper that stays. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We'll see.
All right. So we go into that to do this over under, and one of our receivers, 80 yards. Now they have some great corners, but their corners are overly aggressive, and they are susceptible to double moves and stuff like that. And I believe their nickel corner is still out, and they have 37-year-old guy in the slot covering.
You know, I'm going to give CD over 80.
Okay, so you give it to CD.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to CD. I feel like something about wearing that 88 and going up against the guy you just took over for, and how serious he took it when Irvin told him the passion you gotta have if you're ready to take that number on and things like that. I feel like it's gonna give him a little edge. Like, I know everybody's talking about Dez having an edge this game. I feel like CD's gonna have a little bit of an edge because he's gonna want to go out there and kind of prove himself to the most recent 88.
Okay.
So,
This may be my bold prediction. I think we have two receivers over 80 yards.
okay,
I think it's Lamb and I think it's Coop. I feel
I
like
can see that.
Marcus Peters will just completely bail out on a double move. He's extremely aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take one double move for whatever receiver is coming to get behind him and go for a deep play. And then, like you said, with the whole CD thing as well. So I'm looking for two guys to actually go over 80 this week.
Yeah, I think it would be that too.
Yeah.
Those two.
And J Tug, thank you for joining us as well. I forgot about Andrews being a diabetic. And also my thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. I know you've been kind of going through some things personally that you haven't been really talking about, but I hope things get better for you.
Me too, man.
All right, so we talked about that, and now we got to go back to our every week over under. I'm actually taking it down this time. We normally do over under Zeke 100 yards. This week we're doing 75 yards over under.
I'm gonna say under.
Okay.
Because I think that they're gonna go in here with the game plan that if you just shut down the run game, that I don't think they're even as good as our wide receiving core is. I don't think that they are scared of Andy.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, they know Andy well.
I was just about to say they know him better than anybody.
They know him well. They know his biggest weaknesses. I don't think they're scared of him. And I think they're just going to put a focus on stopping the run and letting the rest play out.
Yeah. I agree with you. That's why I say we have two receivers over 80 yards. I'm 100% on board with you.
Yeah.
They're going to let Andy beat us.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to let Andy beat them.
Yeah.
I'm not touching this one.
Hopefully none by Zeke. Golly, man. I can't take another Zeke fumble this season. He killing me, man.
All right, so let's talk about the Cowboys defense now. Because they've been looking pretty good in spurts lately.
Yeah.
And the Ravens offensive line is not at 100% right now, especially on the inside. So let's do over under 2 sacks for our defense. Lamar Jackson is elusive.
Very. Sometimes he'll run into one too.
He will run into one. You're right.
I'm gonna give it a push.
Push?
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a push. I think Randy gets one of those. But I'm gonna give it a push.
I'm actually leaning over. I think we get 3 sacks on him today. I feel like, especially with a guy like Randy Gregory that's been on fire lately. He's been coming off the edge, and like you said,
might increase his snaps again.
Lamar Jackson doesn't have the best pocket awareness. That's one thing people don't really realize.
Right.
He's elusive in the pocket, but his pocket presence is not that well.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different story when he's out in space.
Yeah.
Going full speed versus sitting in the pocket.
Exactly.
Trying to scan his reads. So that's definitely possible.
Yeah. And you know they're going to bring a couple of blitzes too. They're going to have to, just to try to keep him honest. All right, so talking about the Cowboys defense, the Ravens have been pretty they've been a little turnover prone as well this year. And our defense has caused a couple of turnovers over the past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, the guy that's been kind of creating those turnovers is Donovan Wilson, who may be out this game. I'm leaning towards he's going to be out with the groin injury.
So that makes me think Robinson might be getting some work at safety this game rather than corner.
Yeah. All right, so let's do over under half a turnover. Do they get one or do they get none?
I am going to. I'm going to. I'm gonna give us over. I'm gonna give us one turnover on defense.
Okay.
Who? Who's out? Wilson.
Vondale Jackson, thank you for joining us. You know what, Lambo? We got a little bit of time today, and we haven't opened the phone lines up in a while. So let's get the phone lines open. See if
Yeah,
anyone wants to call in and talk to us. Make sure I can find it. You know, I got too much stuff going on over here, so it's hard for me to find everything. So yeah, I see a couple of people are saying we're gonna get at least one turnover. I'm curious. Do you guys think we get an interception, or do you think it's a fumble? I'm curious about that. Put that in the comments.
Me personally think it's a fumble.
Okay.
That was what my thought was, Shane, and that actually I think would be a sack strip
Yeah,
in the pocket.
I can see that. All right, so let's open these phone lines up and see if anybody wants to join in on the conversation.
Phone lines are open.
All right, so if anybody wants to join in and talk Cowboys, the phone lines are open. We'll try to limit it to about 2 minutes if anybody wants to call in with a question or a comment, just so we can take quite a few if possible. So if you want to call in, just say what's up. Ask us a question, put a comment out there. Go ahead and give us a call. We love hearing from you guys. All right, so over under. I'm trying to see where I am now. So we talked about their offense and our defense, and they like to run the ball a lot. Let's do this over under. Over under 10 tackles for one of our players. In a heavy run game.
Man, I'm gonna say I think Jalen will get 11 tackles this game.
Okay.
I could see over.
I could see that as well. I don't know how many good tackles it'll be, but I can see
that's
definitely getting over 10.
I won't say that they're good tackles.
Yeah.
Could be out of position tackles. But
All right, we're making really good time today, Lambo. We're only at 11:30, and
yeah, we are, man.
yeah, we only just got game predictions, bowl predictions, and fantasy favorites. So if anybody wants to call in and talk for a minute, feel free to hit the phone lines up while I pull up the game predictions from Wednesday to see if anybody wants to change.
I'm trying to remember mine. I think I know I had a loss if Lamar played for sure.
I got it written down. So
Yeah.
while we wait to see if anybody wants to call in, let's go ahead and recap our game predictions from Wednesday.
Game prediction.
All right, so Lambo, last time we talked, I asked you to do with Lamar playing and without Lamar playing. Since it looks like Lamar is going to play, you had your score at 24-14 Dallas. Do you want to change that?
24-14 with Lamar playing?
With Lamar playing.
Oh, I hate game predictions when I'm thinking it's a loss. I hate it because it eats me up saying it, but I'm just trying to be realistic.
William, you had 45-10 Ravens. I saw you put what was yours. You had 45-10 with Lamar playing.
Give me a 20. I'm gonna up it just a couple points for each, 3 for each. 27-17 Ravens. Okay. But I think it's gonna be one of those games where we keep it really competitive in for the first 3 quarters. Actually, like a lot of people are expecting us to get just straight up blown out. But I think they'll actually keep it really close for the first 3 quarters, and then it'll just kind of let up here with something there towards the last like 6 minutes of the game or so.
I mean, and the Ravens haven't been juggernauts this year. So don't try to think of them as
Yeah,
last.
they're 6-5, so
They're 6-5, right?
we can win this game. I'm just so worried about the O-line, I guess, which is crazy considering I said under on sacks given up of 3, but 3.5. But I am pretty worried about. I mean, it's not just no Smith now and no Collins now. It's no Martin,
Yep.
Biotish, who else? Fleming, or I mean, not
Irvin.
Fleming. Yeah, Irvin. I mean, geez, man, that's a lot of injuries on the O-line.
Let me make sure I got this correct. So Mendoza, you say 31-16 Dallas. Is that correct? Harold. All right, guys, keep those game predictions coming in as I write them down. Okay, I got Shane.
What's up, Eric?
Is that your friend?
Yeah, out
Okay.
here in East Tennessee.
He said, "I like that, Bobby." I was trying to make sure he knows we're doing game predictions and not bold predictions. Yeah, I hope we don't see that, but if Matt Judon plays, that's probably what we're gonna see because that guy's a beast off the edge.
Yeah.
All right, and I had 24-14 Ravens. I'm almost like you. I'm gonna take mine up a couple points. I think it's 30-20 Ravens.
Okay. I do, although I think, well, we won't be able to pull this game off, I do think that we might come away with some positives.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm looking forward to, and I'm hoping one of them is Reggie Robinson, seeing something out of him.
Seeing something positive.
It'd be nice to finally get to see a little bit of Bradley and and Francis Bernard, but starting to feel like that ain't going to happen for either. I would like to see a little bit more of those guys as well, but I do look forward to seeing a little bit of positive out of this game. Yeah, Jack, Reggie is supposed to be active. So that'll be something fun to watch and look forward to.
And like I said before, like Lambo said, the Ravens are 6-5. So
Yeah.
this isn't a juggernaut team. They have weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And we can take advantage of those weaknesses. They don't use their receivers often. They are very running back, tight end heavy offense, which kind of works in our favor.
It really does. If we can, I would put a big focus on just stopping the run this game. Go all out on stopping the run. Force Lamar to have to beat you through the air, because that'll give us our best chance to pull this win off.
You know what, Lambo? Since you said that, let's go ahead and go into our keys to victory.
All right.
That way you can hit us with your 3 major keys to winning this game. If we can win this game, hit us with your 3 major keys for us to do that.
Keys to victory.
All right,
So-
Lambo. So hit them again with what you said. Give us if we can win this game, what are your 3 keys for us to do that?
If we want to win this game, we're gonna have to go all out stopping the run. We're gonna have to force Lamar Jackson to beat us through the air, because I don't feel as confident about them beating us through the air. They're gonna have to do it on the ground. So if we can really, limit them in the run game, it's gonna give us a chance. Also, turnovers. We don't necessarily have to win the turnover battle.
Yeah.
But we can't be giving up turnovers. We can't be turning the ball over. Turning the ball over in this game, that's not what we need to do, obviously. No stupid fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
No stupid throws out to the flat, going other way, stuff like that. We can't be turning the ball over. We got to stop the run. And the O-line is going to have to hold up. They're going to have to hold up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting them to go out there and play like all pros with who's on the field for us right now. We're down to the bottom of the roster at the O-line position. So they're just gonna have to hold their own out there, play a very solid game, smart game, and just mentally be where they need to be.
Yeah.
So that'll be my 3 keys.
All right. So for my 3 keys to victory, and you guys are putting some great questions and comments up. Once I give my keys, we'll start to kind of hit those up. First of all, we have to contain Lamar Jackson. We talk about their offense, but plays where you let the quarterback just make something spectacular happen, those will destroy a team's morale. So we can't let him break off a 3rd and long for a first. We can't let him scramble around and throw a 40-yard pass because coverage broke down.
Right.
We can't let that stuff happen. If he beats us, he needs to beat us straight up. 3-step, 5-step drop, hitting the open receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to see defense just got them on a huge loss. Next thing you know, it's like 3rd and 21, and then he scrambles and gets a first down on a 3rd and 21. That'll kill your morale.
If we take this game back to the Sandlot, it's over before it starts. We need to make them play us straight. Second thing, we can't let their receivers have a rare big game. Their receivers do nothing, and you can go check their stats. Caleb McSorley, I see we got a phone call coming in. Give me 1 second. I'm about to put you in there. All right, caller, you're on the air. Hello?
I heard him for a second. I heard like very, very.
Sounds like he said his name was Caleb.
Yeah, I heard that for a second, and that's all I could hear.
All right, so like I was saying, their receivers don't do much of anything. We can't let them be the breakout guys. We have to make them play their game. Tight ends and running backs. If a receiver breaks loose and has a big game, it's going to look ugly for us. The last key on our offense, the Ravens run a very complex zone defense where they're going to have a lot of guys standing up at the line. Guys are going to drop back or blitz. We need to take advantage of that aggressiveness, which means we need to start running a lot of quick slants. We need to send our running backs in the flat, and we need to do some double moves if possible. If we can get those three things off, I think we can keep them off balance and make a couple of big plays to keep us in the game. And I see we got a couple other people putting their keys to victory. And somebody else said that, yeah, Bobby McLean, the fourth quarter has been bad for us the past couple of weeks, so we can't let that happen. And I see Jeff kind of says kind of what I said, control their ground game, get out on them early and make them play from behind. Yeah, and control the clock. It's going to be a running game, so this game could go. This could be a 5-possession game for each team, 5-6 possession game. Stop the run, contain Lamar, win in the trenches. I mean, unfortunately, our fastest receiver is Jalen, but he's only a straight line guy. And like Shane says, you got to blitz Lamar. CD definitely has to be relevant. And something we haven't even talked about, special teams.
Yeah, that's big. Special teams can really give us a slight edge that we really need.
Yeah, we haven't done much of anything on special teams. So special teams playing a game like this will really help open us up to have a chance. And none of that fake punt crap either. I mean, a good return. Trick play on returns like we did before with CJ Goodwin. Stuff like that. No cute 4-down plays, definitely. Like Mendoza said, yeah, back to basics. This is a basic game. This is a smash mouth team that's going to come at you on both sides of the ball in the trenches. So we just have to match their level of intensity. And I see Jack Meeker says Gallup needs to have a real effect on this game. Like I mentioned before, their corners are very aggressive. And they are susceptible to double moves. So if we can get a double move out there and throw it up, Gallup may get a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, he's really good at 50-50 balls.
Now, somebody asked a question. Oh, Errol Gardner. Sorry, I didn't forget your question. So, Lambo, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but what do you think about Dez in this game?
I think vocally he's does a great job motivating people. I think he's going to do a great job just getting them pumped up over there. I think he does have a chip on his shoulder. He's going to play with the edge. But I don't think he blows up, but he does still make an impact. Like we said, it's going to be a lot of underneath stuff for him.
Yep.
He won't pass 40. He shouldn't pass 40 yards, but he could have 3 to 5 grabs for 40-something yards. And I do see him getting a touchdown this game, though. 1 touchdown. Not necessarily a huge game, but 4 catches, 37 yards, and touchdown.
I can see him making a couple timely first downs and a touchdown. I think all of his catches are impact catches. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And like we said, Dez isn't 2017 Dez. We got to get that out of our heads. He's not as fast as he was before. He's never really been elusive. And we don't even know if he still has that burst to jump up and win 50-50 balls.
Yeah, we haven't really had a chance to see that yet.
He's really just a receiver with a name at this point. But you would hope psychologically he doesn't still have that edge over our corners, which is my only real concern about this game. So I think he's going to have an impact, but I don't see him recapturing 2016 Dez in this game.
Yeah.
And Jeff asked the question about, do we think Robinson and Wilson could be the future safeties? I guess my only concern about today's game, if Wilson is out, that means Robinson's going to play strong.
Yeah, that's what I think. So.
I think he's a free, and we may not get to see him at free much. So it's going to be hard to determine if there are future safeties if we don't see him at the spot that he's probably going to play at. And I kind of talked about this before. I was in a chat, and it's a lot of knowledgeable Cowboy fans out there, and I love going kind of back and forth with the knowledgeable ones. And we were kind of talking about, and I know I'm about to go into draft talk. I'm sorry. We were talking about the safety from Oregon versus the safety from Syracuse. And I was trying to point out to the guys, the safety from Oregon, Holland, he's a slot guy who can play safety. Cisco from Syracuse is a true free safety. He plays deep and he plays downfield and he makes turnovers.
That's what we need.
That's what we need. If you go back and look at the history of this team, Roy Williams was a strong that played free. Then you go look at Byron Jones. He was a corner they put at free. Reggie Robinson is a corner they put at free. Xavier Woods is a corner they put at free. We've never had a true deep free safety. So if we really want to, and if we really want to see what our secondary is made of, we need to put players in the position to fit our scheme. Unless they're going to start playing the free safeties down on nickel receivers or playing the man against tight ends, we're never going to see what our cover 1 defense is going to look like.
Yeah.
So that's my only concern with
point.
Richard Robinson. He's a corner converted to free. So we just don't know. He could be the safety of the future. He could be great and rangy. But when I watch him in college, he's aggressive, get your hands on the receiver, uses athleticism to run down the field with him. So we just have to see. He could be the free safety of the future, but we just don't know. And Mendoza asked a question about Paris Ford. I actually really like Paris Ford.
Big hitter.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, big hitter. And I guess my question is that another strong safety we're trying to put at free?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Not saying I don't like him as a player,
Yeah.
but just because he's a great player doesn't mean he's going to fit our scheme. If our coaches aren't smart enough to put guys in the best position to take advantage of their skill set. Donovan Wilson can play free.
I was just about to say, unless they want to try putting Donovan Wilson over at free, which I think he could do. As soon as you said that, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, it's good. On the same page.
He can play free, though, but he's not a free safety. He's better as a strong safety guy.
I kind of wanted to see him at corner too, Jeff, to be honest. I was starting to wonder if it could turn into a Byron Jones type situation. where they drafted. He was, a big athletic corner or a good athletic corner with good size.
Yeah.
And we just moved him to safety at the beginning of early on in his career. Then finally, by the time you figure it out and move him to corner and see how good he is, he's done played his way out of the team, off the team, contract wise. I would like to see him play some corner. I want to see him play a little bit of both, honestly, but
Yeah.
I would like to see him get some snaps at corner.
But to me, if we're gonna stick with this cover 3, where you need a safety to play deep middle, you need a deep safety. Now, I don't know if Robinson could do it or not, but I know he's an aggressive corner from what I saw in college.
Yeah.
That's not what he does. That's not his skill set from what I've seen. Maybe he can convert. Now, if we had Paris Ford, I wouldn't be against it. Great player, but he's not a deep middle safety. Cisco is a deep middle safety. I've seen him play that exclusively and get five interceptions one year and 7 interceptions another year. That's what we need. All right, so that's my draft talk for today.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Cisco kid.
I really like him because he fits what we do.
Closing speed,
Yeah.
yeah. Good size. I'm ready for I can't wait for April.
Yeah,
April's fun. April's a fun month.
it is. I mean, post February is fun once we get past the combine
Yeah.
because then we get to see do these guys speed match with what the gameplay is.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of guys that's in the draft that people think are gonna test fast that I don't think they're gonna test fast. But again, we'll save that for draft talk. I'll put this one out there. If Jamar Chase runs faster than 4.46, I'll be surprised. I'm actually leaning towards 4.5 for him, but we'll see. He may surprise me.
Yeah.
All right, Lambo. I think that's pretty much it in terms of keys to victory, game predictions. And now I guess we'll recap our bold predictions again, and then we'll close this thing out with our fantasy favorites. So first, let's recap our bold predictions.
Bold predictions.
All right, guys, phone lines are still open if you want to join in for the last 5 to 10 minutes of the show. Lambo, last time we talked, your bold prediction was CD Lamb and Dez both score a touchdown and put the X up. You said it again early in the show. Are you still sticking with that bold prediction?
Yep, I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay.
And I don't think it'll be a disrespect thing. I think they'll have a little chat before the game. It'll be some kind of mutual type thing, and he'll do it out of a respect sign.
I can see that too. All right. The last time we did bold predictions, and guys, I only got 6 bold predictions last time. So if you weren't here on Wednesday and you have a bold prediction, make sure you put it in the comments so I can keep track of it. So last time we did the show, my bold prediction was Neville Gallimore is going to get 2 sacks. I've kind of changed from that. I still like that one, but I feel like even more bold prediction is 2 of our receivers go over 80 yards. So I'm going with that one. All right, so guys, again, we're at 11:51. Let's get your bold predictions in right now. Okay, William Coulter, on Wednesday you said Dallas gets shut out was your bold prediction, so you changed it 300 yards rushing.
That's a big rush game.
Hey, it's happened before. Shane Odom, we scored deep on first play. Well, we'll get to find out early on that one, Shane. Mendoza says we get our first win in Baltimore. So I guess your 31-16 Dallas I was correct on that one. All right. Let's see. Errol Gardner. If you have a bold prediction for us, make sure you put that in the comments. Bobby McLean, I didn't get yours on Wednesday, so if you got a bold prediction, be sure to let us know. Jack Meeker, I didn't get your bold prediction on Wednesday. Vondell Jackson. So if you guys are still here with us, let us know what your bold prediction is for this game. Travis Sanford as well. Okay, Jack Meeker. Zeke, 120 yards and 2 TDs. Okay. All right, Travis, Dallas defense scores a touchdown. All right, Reggie Robinson gets an interception. I would love to see that.
That would be sweet, man.
So let me ask you this question, because Jeff kind of led into this question, asking if Wilson and Robinson are the safeties of the future. Let's assume Wilson doesn't play, and Reggie Robinson has a decent game. He gets a turnover. He doesn't get burnt deep. When Wilson comes back next week, do you consider benching Woods or putting Woods at nickel, or do you put Robinson back on the bench and just have him coming in as a backup? Woods is on the last year of his deal, so he's what, 4 weeks away from being gone, possibly.
Unless there's something going on in the front office that we don't know about, where they secretly love Woods and want to keep him around next year, I say, if you lose this game, or if you think I don't know. I mean, we've won 2 games this year.
Yeah.
I think we need the best thing they can do is keep preparing for putting the best roster together next year when Dak comes back and the O-line's healthy and everything. It benefits us most to see what we got with Robinson, get him snaps.
Yeah.
Really, in my opinion. I don't think they'll do it, though. But that's what I would like to see. I would like to see they work him in and take some of Woods' snaps away. Because I really don't think that they're going to re-sign Woods in the offseason, personally.
I don't either.
But,
so if Robinson gets a pick and 7 tackles, and he doesn't get burnt deep, next week you putting Robinson at starting safety with Wilson?
I probably wouldn't put him at starting next week,
Okay.
But I do want to see him get some more or continue to see snaps though.
Yeah.
Whatever way they can work him in, I definitely like to see him on the field.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at this team so far, every guy that's been on the bench that we brought in, they haven't disappointed.
That's true.
Tyler B came in and played great. Connor McGovern came in and played well.
Mm-hmm.
Neville Gallimore, Randy Gregory,
Tristan Hill.
Tristan Hill.
I mean, yeah, there's man, you know what? Terrence Steele's the only one that's disappointed really coming in. Everybody else, I mean Schultz, everybody that's really came in from a backup role has impressed.
Has impressed, right.
So it makes me that's a positive I guess we can pull away from some of the coaching this year maybe.
Yeah.
The type of development they're doing with these young guys.
Yeah. But again,
I would love to see them out there together, though, Wilson and Robinson, because you could have your duo. I mean, find out now.
Mm-hmm.
And if they play great together the rest of the season, you ain't got to worry about snagging a safety in the first 3 rounds of the draft. And that helps us.
Exactly.
Draft the best position to need.
Right.
So.
Or we can slow play free agency and not spend $15 million on Justin Simmons, which I love as a player, but
right.
If we think Robinson looks pretty good, we don't have to pay that much for a guy, because then you're just wasting Robinson's rookie deal. All right, Lambo, we're at 11:56. Last question by Shane before we do fantasy favorites. Do I see the Cowboys pulling Andy Dalton if he struggles? I would say I could see Andy Dalton pulling himself if he gets hit too much.
I think they would, but it'll have to be a real struggle. Like, I don't know if they pull him after 2 interceptions. If he turns the ball over 3 times, I think he'll get yanked.
Yeah. I just don't like his body language. I feel like he almost just feels like I want to get pulled sometimes the way he looks. And Gary Gilbert could give you that spark. All right, so before we go, we're going to hit you with this last segment, and that is our fantasy favorites for today. We're at 11:57. So, Lambo, in these next 3 minutes, we're going to hit them with that and get ready for some football.
Fantasy favorites.
All right, so I got mine pretty much lined up. I don't know if you want me to go first or not.
I got mine too, so
Okay.
just whichever.
Go ahead.
Are we doing well?
We'll do one this game, one around the league.
All right. I think the best performer of this game in fantasy is going to be J.K. Dobbins.
That's mine too.
If you want me to name one for the Cowboys, I think CD Lamb does have a pretty solid day and produces double-digit fantasy numbers. But J.K. Dobbins, I think, will have the biggest fantasy day.
Yeah.
But outside, I really like Raheem Mostert. He's going against the Bills, so he was out with injury for like 4 weeks, and his first game back last week, he had 18 touches.
Yep.
That's a lot coming right back from injury, and he's playing the Bills this week, who have given up 129 yards a game to rushing. So I think Raheem Mostert's going to have a good game outside of this game.
Okay. That's a good one as well. I thought you were going to take mine too. And Mendoza with Schultz, that's a good call. I feel like just because, like we said, they have such a multiple defense, if he can find the pockets, I think he's going to make some good stats. So I'm going to stick with J.K. Dobbins as well. I just like him in the rushing game and the receiving game, trying to cover him out of the backfield. He reminds me a lot of a Dalvin Cook to me. And we saw what Dalvin Cook did to us last week. So I like him in this game as well. Outside of this game, I'm really liking Myles Gaskin for the Dolphins.
I was this close to going with Gaskin. He's in my starting lineup right now.
Mine too.
I almost said him, and I changed it.
So I think Xavier Ahmed and Matt Breida are both out with Miami. Miami's playing Cincinnati, I believe, so it's probably going to be a bad weather game. He should be able to run it on them well. I think they're kind of giving up. So I think, and also Tua's playing. Tua's starting today. So they have to protect Tua. And the best way to do that is with a strong run game. And Mendoza, you about to hit that up?
I picked him up. I can't remember which league it is, but I picked him up in one of my leagues as well and threw him in my flex because I really needed somebody. I like that Snell pick this week.
I like it too, but the Steelers can get kind of pass happy sometimes. They can use the quick game as their run. That one kind of concerns me.
You know, I think you would think Derrick Henry, but I think the Browns are going to like go all out against the run this week. I'm not saying it's going to work, but I say that only to say this. I think Tannehill is a good start this week, even though he's going against a great pass rush. I have a feeling that Tannehill is going to have a bigger than expected game this week. Not nothing like crazy, but I think he'll give you 21, 22 points this week at quarterback if you need somebody.
All right, Lambo, we're at 12:01. So let's go ahead and get out of here, and let's hit them with their social media.
Everybody, you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon at Cowboys Y'all, and on Instagram, I'm Cowboys Y'all 88. But most of all, as always, please hit subscribe on YouTube for me and hit the little bell. It helps a ton. Thanks, guys, and hopefully we pull off this win.
All right, you can find me on Facebook, Bluff City Cowboys, Instagram, Bluff City Cowboys, YouTube at Bluff City Cowboys. Make sure you go subscribe and hit that bell. And also you can find me on Twitter at Bluff Cowboys. So I think that's pretty much it for today's episode. Thank you guys who all came in for joining us, leaving your great comments. We'll hopefully look forward to seeing you guys on a Victory Wednesday this week. But if not, we will be back this Wednesday, 8:30 Central Standard Time, for another episode of the Cowboy Zone. Lambo, you got any closing thoughts?
Nope. Hey, we appreciate you guys so much. And you're welcome, Bobby. See you later, William. And we look forward to seeing y'all Wednesday.
All right, guys, that's it for the Cowboy Zone. I'm Marcus. This is Lambo, and we are out.